why black people built Stonehenge. You can see that is the building, one of the most fantastic buildings in Europe, found in Worcestershire in England. As to the purpose of Stonehenge, again, we can only surmise, but clearly the very scale of this unique megalithic structure suggests that the area itself was of importance. But for what? Was Stonehenge a temple to the gods? Who were the gods? Let us look into this and realize that millions of tourists flock to see this African wonder in Europe. Stonehenge attracts millions of tourists yearly. Many are oblivious to the fact they are seeing an African wonder. In 1986, Stonehenge was added to the UNESCO's Register of World Heritage. Now, Gerald Massey, in his book, A Book of Beginnings, shown here, to the Egyptian origins of these British islands, he thinks that Stonehenge, the most famous ancient monument in England, was built by a Negro architect named Maurienne. More from the ancient Egyptian. He continues to say, as a Negro is still known as Maurienne in English, British tongue. May not this indicate that Maurienne belonged to the black race, the Kushite or African builders? It is clear, therefore, and many learned people say that. And the learned mathematician Ruben Barrow has no hesitation in pronouncing Stonehenge to be a temple of the black curly-headed Buddha. Analysis by Godfrey Higgins, 1883. The religion of Buddha of India is well known to have been very ancient. In the most ancient temples scattered throughout Asia, where his worship is yet continued, he is found black as jet with the flat face, thick lips, and curly hair of the Negro. Several statues of him may be met with in the Museum of East India Company. There are 2 exemplars of him brooding on the face of the deep upon a coiled serpent. To what time are we to allot this Negro? He will be proved to have been to have spread over an immense extent of country, even to the remotest parts of Britain, and have been professed by devotees in conceivably human religions of Buddha. Of this I shall say no more. I shall say more hereafter. That is Anacalypsis by one of the greatest European writers, Godfrey Higgins. Black folks work with stones. This is common. This is not unusual. You can see here, number 1, this is a Stonehenge in Britain. If you know the Great Zimbabwe, look at Great Zimbabwe. This is similar with Stonehenge. This is Horemakut, which is in ancient Egypt, which is a black person. And these are the pyramids in ancient Egypt, and there are millions and millions of other pyramids all over the world built by black people. And this is the obelisk. This is what we do. We built obelisks. They were copied and stolen by many others. This is the American, Southern American pyramids. This is the American people, the Olmec. You can see he's a black person. And you can see these are all ancient Egypt and Egyptian people. So black people work with the stone and love to work with the stone. Candid authorities like the British Egyptologists, as we have already indicated, Gerald Massey and Albert Churchward, the Scottish historian David Mark Ritchie, and the British antiquarian Godfrey Higgins, have done exhaustive research and brought many facts to our knowledge. Tacitus, Pliny, Claudian, and other writers have described the blacks they encountered in the British Islands as black as Ethiopians. Cam Nigris, nimble-footed black people. You can see that this is a forensic mock-up of the first British. They were black, and this is one of the marrying, one of the people connected, or one of the royalties connected with Stonehenge. And this is a Negro Grimaldi. So Stonehenge was built by black people for a purpose. The vital keys to understand why black people worked with stones has to do with communication, and has to do with the center of the cosmic, and has to do with something very critical, very important, very vital, which I shall show before conclusion. Vital keys have to do with the megalithic site lines stood in relation to the galactic center. That's important because it puts you in the zone. Its alignment marked the galactic center's vernal heliacal rising 7,000 BC. amazingly, of the Milky Way. This is the Milky Way, but this is not Stonehenge, but this is the Milky Way in the heavens. And this was done 4000 BCE to 6270 BCE. This is Nabla Palaya in Africa, in the Saharan of Africa, older than Stonehenge, older than many others. So a unified sacred cosmology linking above with below is provided by these stone structures. We come to the study of astronomy, which teaches us that so as above, so as below. The oldest and most important astronomical site in the world was vandalized by white Arabs and other barbarians found in Nabla Palaya, in ancient Egypt, in Africa, in Meroe there in Sudan. These are cosmic stars and cosmic signs. So when our ancestors arrived in Europe, they built Stonehenge to connect Stonehenge with all other 30 powerful structures on the earth. One great example is Easter Island, where Stonehenge is directly connected with the monuments found in Easter Islands here in Australia. This is testimony to so above as below. Now, thank you. This is Hamid Hebrew Ethics. I hope you have grasped something and that you have looked at Stonehenge and accepted that it was built by black people to prove that they were in Europe, they founded Europe, and also to prove beyond any reasonable doubt that we are cosmically connected and we are the original species on the earth. Thank you. Subscribe to our channel and tell many others and put in your comments and your contribution. Goodbye.